Narcissist doesn't come back. Thought I'd do a video outside today because I know most of my videos of the last few months, they have been inside a room. And you know, that is where I spend most of my time. And of course I do notice the difference in views when I do a video outside. I mean, it does tend to perform much better. It seems to be what people want to see is me just out and living my best life. It seems that those are my top live videos and my top shorts. So I do try to get outdoors when I can. So here I am. Just overlooking this view here. This bridge in the background. I may go over that way tomorrow. I've already done everything that there is to do around here. Been to the beach, did a video there as I wanted to do for you. Did a really good video there the other day. And that's about it. I mean, it's not too much to see. It's not really all that it's cracked up to be. But that's it. I mean, you know, that's how it is with most things in today's world. Is that it is better suited for short term, just passing through, not getting too deeply involved in it. And the narcissist is aware of that. Yes, they know what they're doing. They're very clever the way that they act so mysteriously. They keep you at a distance. They keep you at arm's length. They don't let you get too close. They don't let you see everything. And it's like you're together, but it hasn't really progressed since when you first met. There's no progression in anything. Everything stays the same. And that's how they like it to be, because if you get too close, if you start to see and learn more about them, you begin to realize that there's really nothing there. There's nothing really there that stimulates or arouse your excitement. There's nothing really there that's worth your time, energy, or attention, or your investment. And that's the whole game about it. That's what they don't want you to know, is that it's not worth your time or even your financial investment. It's not worth it. And that's why they use the manipulation, the gaslighting, the lies, the future faking. That's why they then devalue you, they put you down, they make you feel like you're nothing. They make you feel like you've got to do more for them, or something is wrong with you and you have to make up for that. These are all just tactics, they're all just games to keep you looking at yourself, questioning yourself. And then they play the victim, they make you want to feel bad for them and help them even more. They're all just tactics for you to keep focusing on them and keep giving and doing for them. That's all that it's designed to do, because that's the only reason why they even entertain you. It's for you to do and give to them. And that's all that it is. That's all that it's for. And what they don't want you to realize, what they don't want you to figure out, is that they're not worth the investment of your time, energy, effort, money, resources. They're not worth any of that. They do not even deserve it. They're not worth anything from you. That's what they don't want you to know. That's what they don't want you to figure out. And that's why it's quite the opposite when you're with them, when you're around them. It's all about them proving themselves to you, showing you how wonderful they are. All the while, you're not actually getting anything, and you're actually just being depleted. There is no equal exchange. You're not even getting a fraction of what you're giving out to them. Gradually, you are being depleted of everything, your time, energy, health, and finances. It's all gradually being depleted because that's just it. They're not worth your time and attention. They're not worth your investment. They're not on your level. You can make them better, temporarily at least, but they cannot do anything for you. And that's why they then start devaluing you. They act like something is wrong with you because they're just not even there to be anything for you. They can't do anything for you. They're not on your level. So that's why they get you to focus on yourself and making you think that maybe there's something that you need to improve, that you need to be better. Because otherwise you're just going to come to the realization that maybe you just need to stop. You need to stop giving and investing into them because it doesn't amount to anything. Because they're not worth it. They're a bad investment. There's no reciprocation. They can't reciprocate anything back to you because they don't even deserve it. And yeah, they use all of these tricks and tactics to stop you from catching on to that and figuring that out. But the reality is that once they've gotten all that they can get from you, once they've drained the life out of you and there's nothing more for them to extract, and it gets to a point where it's like they've depleted you mentally, emotionally, they drained the life out of you to the point where you've got nothing left, you've got no energy, you have no enthusiasm or passion about anything. All of the things that you used to do and enjoy, all of your passions and interests, you're no longer doing that. Many of you just become a recluse. It's like you're in hibernation mode, you're just sitting at home all alone. And maybe you're not even working like you used to, you're not going to the gym, you're not exercising. They depleted you of your health, your finances. They turned everyone against you, you've got no one, you're isolated. Once they've done all of these things to you, there's not really much of an incentive for them to come back to you. Because that's what they do, is that they turn you into the opposite of everything that initially drew them to you. It's like they're attracted to you because you're high value, you're high caliber, you're successful, you're attractive, you're powerful. You're all of these things. They're attracted to you because of that. But then when they get around you, then they want to bring you down. Then they want to strip you of all of these things because they feel like you're overpowering, you're overwhelming them. And they want to have you under their control because otherwise it just makes them feel inadequate in comparison to you, and inevitably you're just going to end up rejecting them. When you've got them around you and you see them as they actually are, and you have the self-awareness, they haven't deprived you of your consciousness, they haven't brainwashed you yet, you're just going to see that they're a problem, they're no good for you, they're just bringing you down, they're a liability and you're better off without them. And that's where they manipulate you. That's why they play the victim, so that they can then garner more support and admiration from you. It's to keep it going. Anything they do, it doesn't matter what tactic it is, it's to keep it going. It's to keep that supply flowing to them. Because they don't even exist, they're not even real people. They're dependent on your power and energy. It has to come from you. They've got to extract that from you in order for them to survive emotionally. So anything that they're doing, it's always with one purpose. It's to keep the supply flowing. And when they leave, when they don't come back, it's because there isn't any supply flowing anymore. You're no longer giving them that feeling that you used to give to them. You're no longer making them feel that way that they liked. Even though it really has very little to do with you and everything to do with them and their behaviors and how they've affected you, because they've just kind of destroyed you. They've depleted you in every possible way to where you can no longer be that person for them. And even if you became that person again for them, it wouldn't really change anything, because they would just use you up again, extract everything out of you, dominate and control you until you then become their puppet again. All they can do is destroy. They can't build anything with you. They can only destroy you. They are programmed to destroy. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is that you're going to reject them. You're going to realize that you've got no business dealing with them. They're not on your level. They can't serve you in any sort of way. They can't make you better. And it's all about just you doing and giving for them. You're going to realize that at some point, and that's why they're going to keep devaluing you. They're going to put you down. They're going to make you feel like something is wrong with you. They've got to keep you at a distance, keep you at arm's length. Don't let you get too close. Don't let you see too much about them. They've got to do all of these things, because otherwise you're going to realize the truth is that they are no good for you. At any time that you think that they are, you're really just dreaming. It's a fantasy. It's not real. They're never going to be any good for you. You can make them better. You can make them feel good, but they cannot do the same for you. And they're never going to be able to be that for you. And that's just the reality of it. They will only be around you to extract from you, to take from you, while simultaneously making you believe that they're giving something to you, or that they're trying to bring something to you, but you don't deserve it, or you have to do something else, you have to do something more. And you just keep doing and doing and giving, but it's never enough. And they're just running you into the ground. And that's just it. The more that you give, the more that you do, the more that you invest into them, the more that it's distancing them from you. The more that it's making them hate you and resent you and turn against you. It makes it even worse for you. The more that you do, the more that you give, the more that you invest, the more attention you pay to them. It doesn't make it better, it makes it worse. Because you're just throwing all of that into a void, and it's never going to come back to you. And it's never going to sustain them as well. It's only going to make them even more mad. And this is why you lose by being around them. The closer you are to them, the more time you spend around them, the worse that it gets for you. Now, if you're just someone on the side, if you're just a one-night stand for a narcissist, it's not going to be that bad. If we're talking about short-term, you can have a bit of fun with them and then you can get out of it. But when we talk about relationships, it's a very painful, devastating experience. Because when you're close to them, when you're around them, when you're near them, remember you're dealing with a leech, a parasite, a bottom feeder, the scum of the earth, the lowest of the low. All they can do is feed off you because they have nothing of their own. All they have is a void. So when you're dealing with someone like that, all they can do is then attach themselves to you and feed off you. That's all that they can do. So many of you make such a big mistake when you think that by being closer to them, by trying to get on their good side, by trying to do more for them, provide more for them, be a better person for them, you think that's going to make things better for you. You think that's going to put you in their good books, but it's not. That makes things worse for you, not better. What makes things better for you is when you have separation, boundaries, distance. When you let them do as they want to do. When you let them stay away from you. When you let them do the things that they want to do. Instead of holding them down, keeping them stuck, that's going to make things worse for you. It's not going to make it better. Because the closer you are to them, the more time you spend around them, the more that you're going to see their bad sides. You're not going to see anything better. You're going to see a lot worse. Because you're constantly giving and doing for them. They're unable to reciprocate back to you because they're a leech, they're a parasite. All they do is extract from you. So you're constantly being depleted, and it's also not sustaining them. It's actually making them even more mad because they can never get to that feeling that you had before they extracted from you. They can never get to be happy like you and full of life and abundant, successful as you were before. They can never get to that level. So they're pushing and pushing, extracting and extracting, and they're never getting up to that point where you were before. And so it makes them even more mad. Even while you're giving and doing for them, it just makes them want to run you into the ground. And then it makes them want to punish you as well. And that's why getting close to them, being and doing for them, it's not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. It's going to make it a lot worse. And this is why it's really a blessing when they don't come back. Unfortunately, they don't come back typically once they've already drained the life out of you, once you've got nothing else to give. 100 live viewers, please give it a thumbs up if you find it helpful so far. But yeah, they will keep going and pushing and trying to get a little bit more, and just as much as they possibly can, and just drain you like squeezing a sponge or like wringing a towel. They just want to get every drop out of you that they can, so there's nothing left, and then they just want to punish, destroy you for not giving them more, for not letting them have that happiness, that abundance that you had before. Because they see it as though, why can't they get that out of you? Why can't that be theirs as well? So then they want to punish you for that. Because they're still not happy. They're still not satisfied. They still have a void that can never be filled. And they blame you for that. So again, unfortunately, when they don't come back, it is typically once they drain the life out of you. Or in some situations, if you manage to set strong boundaries, you manage to keep them out, you've got a strong support network, typically they're not going to push too hard with that. If you've got people around you who support you, you've got strong boundaries, and if you've got a restraining order as well, I mean, most narcissists, they're going to leave you alone then. They're not going to come back. Even if you do have more to give. In some situations, they may test the waters. They may see if they can get away with it. They may see if they can contact your family or mutual friends that you have. They may try and find a way to get back in. But at some point, many narcissists will just leave you alone. Once you set strong boundaries, you cut them off. You've changed your phone number, you've moved location. They might just leave you alone in those situations, I mean. But of course, those who are higher on the spectrum, they're even more disordered, more malignant. Those types of narcissists, they're going to hold on to you. They're going to keep trying to come back in. They're going to see that you're able to recharge, you're able to heal, and it will make them become very fascinated with you. They will begin to fixate on you, obsess over you. over this ability that you have, where you're able to come back after everything they did to you. You're able to return to your natural way of being, your health and vitality. It will fascinate them because it's not like that for them. They remain down, they remain depressed for their entire lives. And that never changes for them. So it fascinates them when they see that you have this special magical ability to bounce back from everything they're doing to you. And then it makes them realize that they need to hold on to you. They need to make sure that they stay in contact with you. Because then they know if they need a lifeline, if they need someone there to supply them, to uplift them again, then you're going to be there ready for them. So they want to make sure they hold on to your contact. They want to make sure they know where you are. They want to make sure they know what you're doing, who you're with, so that they can keep an open door for when they come back, and they know that they've got that there when they have that same feeling, those same sensations again. And many of them, they will stay in contact with you. They will act like, yeah, we got things in common, we have shared interests. You really don't. And actually, a lot of your passions, your interests, everything that's unique, individual about you, they hate it. They can't stand it. They wish that was theirs. They wish they had that power, that energy, that life force. Because that's what it is. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you beautiful. I think that's a quote from a One Direction song, isn't it? That's what makes you beautiful. But it is, though. That is what makes you beautiful. Your individuality, your uniqueness. You're special. You're not like narcissists. They are all the same. They're all exactly the same as each other. They all have the same identity, the same personality traits, same disorder. There's nothing that separates, distinguishes them. They're all exactly the same. And typically they're never going to be exclusive to you because they all belong together over another person's destruction. They're all exactly the same. It's like you see one, you see them all. It's like Groundhog's Day. When you deal with narcissists, they're all exactly the same. There's very little that sets them apart. And even what does set them apart sometimes is just little differences in how they manipulate people, because that's all they really got. All they got is manipulation. So some narcissists may manipulate you in this way, others may do it a different way. And that's about it. That's all that really sets them apart, is that they learn the manipulation differently depending on what part of the world that they are from. But typically what you will find is from certain locations, certain parts of the world, many of them do share certain manipulation strategies. A lot of them do the same things because they've learned, it's been tried and tested, that that's going to get them what they want. That's going to extract the most fuel. And that's what they do. They come in, they extract this from you, they get as much as they can, and then they're out of it. Then they're on to the next person. Then they're on to someone else. Once they know that you've got nothing left to give, or once they know that it's too much work to get that out of you, maybe you set strong boundaries. Maybe it's much easier for them to get back somewhere else. Then why would they waste their more time with you? Why would they come back? If it's going to be that difficult for them, or if you haven't got anything left to give. And remember, they may have been accustomed to a certain lifestyle, a certain way of how things were initially with you when they first got around you. And then gradually, as they begin to deplete you, they can no longer have that same supply or those same benefits from you. And then they could just end up discarding you and trying to find that somewhere else. Trying to find your replacement. Trying to find someone who is like how you were at the beginning. Because of course, I mean, that's what they're looking for. Thanks for the donation, hit on her. So, that's what they're looking for. Once they've depleted you, they've drained you, yes, they go off and try to find someone who's just like you, but not like you at the end of the relationship. Not like you after they've already drained and depleted you. They want someone who is more like you at the beginning, before they got involved with you. And yet they wonder why they can never find or never sustain that type of person. Of course, the reason why is because that person cannot exist while they are around them. It's impossible. I'm sure many of you tried to do it. I tried to do it. We all tried to do it and we couldn't. We couldn't achieve that. Because we can't exist around these types of people. It's a paradox. It's a catch-22. It's an impossible situation. It's a result that can never be achieved. It's never going to be a reality because they cannot sustain us as who we are, because they don't match with us. They're not meant to be around us because not at a similar level where they're able to sustain the person that we are at the beginning. And yet they go off, they try and find someone, they try and replace us with someone who may be closer to what we were at the beginning. And then they use that to make you jealous, or to make you feel like you're missing out, or like something's wrong with you, like you just ruined everything. But no, they're never going to sustain it with that person as well. They couldn't sustain it with you. Because they come in and deplete people. They're not coming in for connection. It's because they envy you. They want to take from you. Of course, if someone's coming into a situation and all they're doing is taking and giving nothing, it's not going to last. It's not going to sustain it. Forget about it getting better. It's not even going to stay the same. Because that's just it. They were never meant to be around it. They were never meant to be in a relationship with you. They were never meant to be anywhere near you, anywhere close to you. They were meant to be on their own. They were meant to be in quarantine, healing themselves, having therapy. That's what they were meant to be doing. They were meant to be actively seeking a relationship, being involved with you, being close to you, masking their disorder, acting like there's nothing wrong with them. They were not meant to be doing that. They were not meant to be doing that. That's how you ended up being depleted. Because they were not meant to be doing that with you or anyone else. But of course, this is what they do. I mean, they're sick people. They're not well, and they get around you, trying to blame you and making you think there's something wrong with you, or they're extracting from you to fuel them, to sustain them temporarily. And then, of course, the same thing happens again. They end up depleting you, draining you. You start to go down. Things start to go bad for you. And then they have to do the same thing again. They have to devalue you. They have to say, oh, there's something wrong with you. That's why this happens. When no, they need to be in isolation, and they need to be out of relationships. They need to be quarantined because they're very sick. They need therapy. They need help. That's what the problem is. And that's why when you got involved with them, things started to go down. That's why you were much better before you got involved with them. Because trust me, I mean, if they were on your level, if they were any good for you, not only would they be sustaining you, they would be making you better. you would be even better than what you were at the beginning. And many of you, I know, you look back and you may idealize that person that you were before you got involved with them. That's just it. You think that's great. You think you were really on top of your game back then before you got involved with a narcissist. If you hadn't have met the narcissist and instead you met someone who was on your level, who was real, who was genuine, you would have elevated to a far greater position than many of you can even imagine. And that is the truth. That's just it. That's how it goes. That they trick and deceive you. They wear a mask. They act like they're that person that you're looking for, that you were looking for before you got involved with a narcissist. You were looking for someone who was on your level. That's what you were looking for. You weren't looking for someone who was not on your level. And you got stuck with a narcissist. You got stuck thinking that maybe they tricked you into thinking that they were on your level. Maybe they got you with that. Maybe that's what you fell for, was the lies and the future faking, the false promises about the future. So maybe you really believe that, all right, if you just stick around with this person, things are going to get better at some point. Or maybe that didn't work with you. Maybe what got you was when they played the victim. They made you feel bad for them, and because you're a fixer, you like to rescue people. You saw a project, you saw something that you could fix, and that got you caught up with them. Maybe that's what it was. But whatever it was, I mean, these are all just manipulation tactics. They've used this time and time again. With many of the people before you, they know exactly what they're doing. Because they want to bait you in, they want to get you hooked, so that they can siphon off your energy and resources, so that it can fuel them. They've got to get that from you. Until, of course, finally they've depleted you, they've drained you, there's nothing more for them to get. And then typically they leave. They blame you and then they leave. Or if they think you've still got something, then they will blame you and they will smear you. They will engage in financial and legal manipulation to extort from you. If they see that you still got something, you're still going off for something in a different direction, you're getting away from them, they will try and pull you back into it. Sometimes they'll try and love bomb you just to get more out of you. Because that's really it. That's all that they intend to do when they seek out a source, is to drain it. It's a predator, a leech, a parasite. It's not there to make you better. Just like a mosquito, it doesn't just land on you because it's going to improve your life and make you happy. No, it's there to drain the life out of you. It's there to suck your blood, because that provides them with nourishment, sustenance. It fuels them, but it drains you. It drains you and fuels them. And that's not a relationship. In a relationship, you don't drain anyone. You don't leech off anyone. You both support each other. You provide for each other. It's not just a leech, a drain, a liability that just drains the life out of you, that makes your life worse. That's not how it's supposed to be. But that's all that they're intended to do, and everything else is all just a distraction. It's all just manipulation. It doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's their denial, their rejection, their blame shifting, gaslighting, triangulation, smear campaigns, whether they use the courts, lawyers, doesn't matter what it is, it's all manipulation. It's all to get you to do what? To keep giving, to keep providing, and to never stop, to be their life force, their life support machine for the rest of your life until you can't do it anymore, until they ran you into the ground. And then what do? They go find another one. They just do the same thing again and again. And if they see that you have recharged, then they'll come back if they think they can get more. But that's all that it is. And that's how you should know that when they don't come back, when they don't come back, it is a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise. But that's the thing, because many of you, you think they're not back. You think that they're not there. And many of you, you feel like you're sinking into depression, anxiety, longing and yearning for them. Many of you are just longing and yearning for you. You're longing and yearning for yourself to come back, for you to heal. But you've still got them there. They're still there in the background. They're lurking around somewhere in the shadows. They're stalking you on social media. They're spying on you. They're still siphoning off your energy, all the while you're getting nothing in return. So they're still leeching off you. They're still depleting you. And many of you may not even be aware of it, but they're still there. They're still taking your energy. And yet many of you are alone. You're isolated. You're depressed. You're thinking that you need them back, that you're longing and yearning for them, when actually no. You just want your own peace and quiet. You just want your own energy back. You just want you. But it confuses you. It makes you think that you want them back. That's because you're constantly being depleted. And of course, when someone depletes you, it makes you crave, it makes you desire. You need something to be coming back into you, because it's constantly going out. So you've got nothing to sustain you, and it leads you to crave and desire for them to come back to provide to you, to give you their energy. When really what it is, it's more just they come back and they give back to you a little bit of your energy that you are just naturally giving out to them. That's all that is. They're just giving it back to you. Because narcissists, even though they may not come back, they're still there. They're still spying on you. They're still getting energy from you. They are constantly extracting from you. They're always there. It's just many of you don't even see it. They always have different ways to, when they know they're dealing with an empath, when they know they've got a good source of supply, they always find different ways to extract from you. And as Dr. Ramani has mentioned, I believe in her videos, I saw her to say that, and I've mentioned before as well, is that they will put spyware on your phone, on your computers. They will be watching everything you do, your internet history, who you're talking to, who you're interacting with, to see what your interests are now, what you're spending your time doing. They'll stalk you on social media. Some of them, they will, through the use of spyware, they're watching you through cameras on your phone, your computer, your television even, listening to you through the microphone whenever they want to, whenever they miss you, whenever they need more of your energy. So they've always got you there permanently, 24 hours a day as a source of supply. And this is what they do when they find an empath, when they find a good grade A source. They've got to have that 24/7 access to you. And it's always this 24/7 one-sided access when you're constantly giving, providing to them. It's like your heart is beating, the blood is pumping around your body, your brain, your veins. It's all going around, it's all flowing for them. For them. Because everything that you're doing, they're taking the energy from that. And simply they get into it before even you get to it. They're hooked on it. So, especially with technology these days, they don't even need to come back. They can just stay away and still extract all of this from you, your energy and resources. They don't even need to be involved with you. They don't even need to be around you. And they can still get all of this from you. And they can get all of this even while they're in a new relationship with a new source, even while they're married, they've got children. They can still check in with you through social media, through spyware on your phone, your computer. There's many different ways for them to do that. And that's just it. Even if you change your devices, they can still find ways to hack into your new devices. And they can install cameras in your home, everything. In your car as well. They can have tracker devices on your car. They can do all of these things. And even while you are thinking that they've moved on, you're thinking that they're somewhere else, they're in a new relationship, you're thinking that they're married and they have children. Maybe they do have children, but you're thinking that they've moved on. And they haven't. They're still stuck with you. They're never exclusive. They're never loyal to anyone. They're still hooked on you, to your supply, your energy, your emotions, your reactions. They're still hooked on you. They're still watching you, stalking you. They haven't moved on. They haven't processed anything. Even though it looks like they've moved on, they could still have the spyware on your phone, the cameras in your home. They could have all these things. They still have this obsession with you. They're still hooked on you for your energy. And so that new relationship, that marriage, whatever it is, it means nothing. They haven't moved on. They haven't gone anywhere. And even when it looks like they've moved on, it looks like they're happy, they're not. That's your energy. That's your life force that they stole from you. That's everything that they got from you. That's nothing that's unique to them. Just think about it. I mean, if someone is full of their own energy, their own life force, what do they need from you? Unless they're given to you. But narcissists have nothing to give. They can only be negative, pessimistic. They can only take away. They can only be leeches, parasites. They have nothing to give. So they're constantly just taken from you, and they're operating from you as a life support machine that keeps them going, it keeps them alive, so that they can then go out and seek out new supply, have new relationships, have children, even get married and all of these things. They can all go out and do that off the back of your energy, off of what they're extracting from you. And that's how none of it is real, and it's all just built in a house of cards. And that's how, when we had these relationships with them, that's how it all fell apart so easily. They're so hypersensitive to criticism. They're like loose cannons. They're always on edge. Because it's all fake. It's all built in a house of cards. It was all built off the back of the last source of supply. Everything we had with them in the beginning, it was all built off the back of the last source of supply. And it's the same thing that you're seeing now. Everything they do and everything they've got, you're the one who's supporting all of it. You're the glue that holds it all together. Without you, it all falls apart. And that's your purpose. That's your role in all of this. That's what they want from you, is to hold it all together. That's where they scapegoat you. Because without you, it would all fall apart. It's not even real. It's not even genuine. I think it's funny though. I just I just realized earlier on I said that's what makes you beautiful. It's a song from One Direction. I should be laughing though because I don't know if you know, but I think it was about a month ago. Sadly, Liam Payne from One Direction, he jumped off the third floor balcony of a hotel. So, but yeah, it's kind of strange coincidence. I'm saying that while I'm on this balcony of this condo, but I'm actually on the 10th floor here. And that's how it is, for a lot of people. Liam Payne, he had everything. And not only did he have everything, he had everything to look forward to. Super successful. He had it all. And then he went and he was on drugs, everything. And he took his own life. Someone at that level, I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that. That's how it is. That's how it goes. Happened with a lot of celebrities. $106 live viewers. Give it a thumbs up if you find it helpful so far. But yeah, it may look like they're not coming back. They're actually still out there feeding their addiction. Their addiction, that is you. They still have this obsession with you. They can't let go of you. It may seem like they're not there. They may not want you to know that they're watching you. Some of them do want you to know. Sometimes it's not enough for them, and then especially those who are more sociopathic, psychopathic, antisocial, they like to leave little hints, just as with serial killers, they like to leave little hints where they're going out killing people. They leave little hints for the detectives. And that's what they'll do to you. They'll leave little hints that they're watching you, they're stalking you. Because they want to, it gives them a sense of control, like they're 10 steps ahead of you. But they have to leave hints for you to figure out. While they've kept you trapped in their web of lies and deceit. So it makes them feel powerful when they do that. But it also gives them a little rush of excitement when they leave these little hints for you. Because it's like, almost like you've kind of caught them with their hand in the cookie jar. Gives them a little bit of excitement. Especially when they still have some level of control over it, so they know they can't be caught out or completely exposed. And this is what they live for. This is their life. This is how it is for them. It's very insecure. It's insecure, it's anxious, it's avoidant. It's all of them. All of the dysfunctional attachment styles. It's all just corrupt, it's dysfunctional. There's nothing functional or normal for a narcissist. They don't even desire that. They like things to be corrupt, weird, strange, unusual. That's what they want things to be. And that's just it. You know, they will never have a genuine, true connection or relationship with anyone. And many of you felt like that's what you missed out on with them. How you just gave it all, you invested everything you had into them, you wasted so much time, and you never got what you wanted at the end of it. It's like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, there was no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And yeah, it's because that's not who they wanted to be. They never cared about that. Now, they're not going to suddenly become that for someone else. They're still going to remain with that same attachment style and of being dysfunctional. They're still going to remain that way with anyone that they're involved with because that's their way of functioning. That's what they like. That's what they're drawn to. That's what they enjoy. And so they're still going to be involved in the same activities, even when it seems like they're gone. Typically, they're going to be spying on you. They're going to be watching you. They're going to be seeing what you're doing. Well, they may end up spying on someone else. They may be spying on a bunch of people from their past. I wouldn't be surprised a narcissist has a bunch of different phones and like a different phone from it for each source's social media or contact details and like to spy on them. Maybe they have a bunch of different devices, different phones, and maybe they've got like some secret room in their home. It's like a secret door somewhere. And then leads to a room with like a bunch of monitors where they're just spying on all of their past sources of supply. It gives them that sense of power and control. It gives them that validation, which is what they want. That's what they live for. They live for power. And where does it get them? The power just destroys everything. And this is why they end up becoming so angry, so bitter. Because they wanted it all, they wanted the power, and it was that very power that destroyed everything, destroyed themselves. Because that's just it, you know, you choose power over love. And it's destructive, it's self-destructive. That's what they do, they dominate and they destroy everything. I hope everyone's doing okay. And I hope the sound is good here. I'm using this new microphone I got. Although I'm trying not to move it around too much because I know it seems to make some noises sometimes. Not sure where that noise is coming from though. Yeah, this is the view. Already got a bit of a headache being out here. That's why I do tend to spend most of my time indoors. being around people, I mean, I got to get to it first. I mean, you know, most people in this world, they're just presented a facade, and underneath that, they're so broken, traumatized. As I mentioned in my recent video of how narcissists are everywhere, I really explored that, how everyone is messed up in the world today. And as for me, I've been exploring myself, my mind, just everything. So I've been healing, I've been growing from being away from people, by being isolated. And then every time that I come out around other people, it's just pulling me back, it's pulling me down. It's just destroying me. Everything that I built, everything that I become from being in my isolation. Because that's all that it can do when you come out around other people. We're not only not on your level, they're not anywhere even close. And yet they're pretending to be somewhere, they're faking it. They're acting like they are. But that's just the reality of it, is that they're just far too low for us to even coexist. You just can't even be anywhere near them. And you'll have this experience with most people in the world today. Pretty much anyone that you get around, they will just bring your mood, your vibration. They'll just bring it all down. They'll just drain it all out of you. Because they're not on your level. They're outwardly focused. They're constantly just looking and pursuing, like what's going to feed them, what's going to complete them next. Never with the mindset of giving, because they've got nothing to give. They're parasites. And this is most people in the world today. They are parasites. Empathic people are extremely rare in the world today. There's very few of them out there. Maybe 1 to 2% of the world's population are empathic, empaths. And then there's different types of empaths as well. I mean, if we're talking about awakened, aware, self-aware empaths. So we should have a better signal now. But yeah, that's how you'll start to feel when you're around them, because they are living in an alternate reality. They're in a fake world. And most people in the world are. Most people are in denial. They're not connected to truth. So they lack authenticity. Many of them lack integrity as well. They're not sincere. This is why when you're around them, what happens is it confuses you. It muddles up your head. And it also brings you down. It depresses you. Because by being around them, you can't be yourself. You can't be authentic. You can't be in truth. So yeah, they have to gaslight you. And it can be very draining, very confusing. And gaslighting could be anything, just denying who they are, what they're doing, their actions, accountability. I mean, I experience gaslighting quite a lot. Daily, I mean, typically when I'm outside and I experience a lot of harassment, as I mentioned in past videos, sometimes I get people who will just wave their arms right in front of my face. And then if I confront them on it, they'll just act like they don't know what I'm talking about. That's who I was on there. And yeah, that's gaslighting. because you're trying to make someone doubt their own perception, memory, and sanity. You're making them think that they're crazy, they're insane. So that's what they try and do. But you're not insane. You are in reality. They're the ones who are crazy. They're the ones who are inauthentic. They're liars. They're dishonest, deceptive. And that's typically why they're so miserable. That's why they're so upset. That's why they're not happy. That's why they're unfulfilled, because you're not going to find any fulfillment in being a fake and living a lie. That's not going to make anyone happy. You'll find peace, love, harmony, fulfillment in truth, in being honest and authentic, connected with yourself. No gaslighter is going to find any peace or fulfillment. It's never going to happen. That comes from being authentic, finding your truth, being connected to your truth. But yeah, let them try and gaslight you, let them just drive themselves insane. Let them do it to themselves. Because that's all that they're doing. Well, as for us, we must focus on our healing. We must focus on getting better. And yes, as soon as they start to see that you're beginning to heal, they're going to want to bring you back. They want to bring you back to how you were before. They don't want you to be awake and aware and understanding things, because it's never going to be that way for them. So they see that you reach certain levels of awakening, consciousness, awareness, and they try to pull you back down because they're down there. And they're never going to reach those levels where you're at. They're never going to awaken. They're never going to reach enlightenment. It's never going to be that way for them, and that's why they pull you down. They get to come back in the groove because of the signal, and it's getting dizzy out there under the people. It's just a horrible experience. All of the gaslighting and the craziness, and it's horrible. But I pray that people will find peace. I doubt they ever will, but hopefully things will get better for them eventually. I do feel bad for them, but there's nothing I can do. I can't help them. I can't be their mummy, their daddy, and just fix things for them. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's a nice view here. Anyway, thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. Give it a thumbs up down below if you found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Subscribe and click all notifications to be notified when I go live again. Donations are greatly appreciated, no matter how small. You can donate to my PayPal. It is paypal.me/narcsurvivor. If you'd like to book a one-on-one, just go to my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Great if you need guidance or support on your healing journey. I am available for you. And I'm also available on Instagram. It is Narc Survivor YouTube. All right, thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. And maybe save this video, make a note of it. They'll remind you of what they try to do, what they want from you. It reveals all in this video. And even while you still feel drained or you're not moving on, even when they didn't come back, play it back, take note of it. Thank you all, and I will talk to you soon.